Start recording.
Start recording. I hope the microphone works this time.
Uh-oh. Oh, no. Did you test it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It should be fine. We're ready?
Ready.
Cool.
Go.
Hello everybody and welcome to Nathan on Shuffle. This is our next episode in our Classic Albums 101 series. First we did the Beatles' Abbey Road was our first episode that we did a couple weeks ago.
Yep.
And so now we're moving to the next choice, which I've got here. It's Tommy's The Who. So this is the one that we're talking about today and should be a fun adventure. I did a show about The Who on my own before.
You did?
Yeah. In my defining albums through the years series, I did a Who's Next, which is the one after this. But I thought it'd be fun to do a Who album with you. And so I thought this would be cool.
That's fun.
As a choice. So The Who, just as a little bit of background, are of course an English rock band formed in London in 1964.
I didn't know that they were English until one of the lyrics said something about Victoria Station.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So they consist of lead singer Roger Daltrey, guitarist and singer Pete Townsend, bass guitarist and singer John Entwistle, and drummer Keith Moon. So that's the lineup. And this is kind of a monumental album in their career, I'd say. It's a big, sprawling double album that
a rock opera.
It's a rock opera. Yeah, it was kind of one of the first, at least the first commercial rock operas, I think, of the day. So
cool.
Kind of a cool, influential album to a lot of prog albums to come. That's at least where I'm interested in, because Genesis did Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, which was a big, sprawling rock opera.
Not considered prog though, right?
No.
Yeah.
This is more like a classic rock, rock opera. So
it sounded like it sounded like 70s music to me, of course. But kind of folksy and at times, but then also sometimes classic rock sounding.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, this is probably what defined what sounds like classic rock.
Yeah,
so.
This was kind of the early period of that time. So, yeah, you don't have to hold it the whole time. But
I'll give it back.
Yeah. So, yeah, this album came out in 1969.
Okay.
So, just right before the 70s. And was kind of I think Pete Townsend...
Did they do it did they go to Woodstock? I thought I read that they were there.
That sounds right. Yeah, I'm sure they've been there to Woodstock.
Okay.
But, yeah, this is Pete Townsend is kind of the main writer. This is his kind of vision of this rock opera. So it's a pretty cool album that goes through a lot of different things and has a pretty crazy, interesting story.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, I did read up on the story of it.
So any general thoughts about the story or what do you think of it?
The story was kind of an odd one. Just to clarify, we're not reacting to it right now.
Right,
we're not listening to it. We've already listened to it on off channel, and then now we're just talking about it. And so now I'm going to talk about it. In general, the story is kind of an odd one. It has a character the main character Tommy is experiences some trauma and then shuts down. Mm-hmm. He's blind and can't blind and deaf.
Yeah,
and
deaf,
mute.
dumb, and blind. Yeah, is what they call it in the album. And
so it's I don't know, there's a lot of weird things that happen in it.
It's a pretty crazy story. Yeah.
But he's able to play pinball.
Yeah, that's what's important.
Because he can feel vibrations. So.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of crazy stuff here about him being taken advantage of and abused based on his disabilities and things, and just kind of his family life and things that he's dealing with, and then kind of his discovering, I guess, that it isn't really a physical problem, but more of a mental one, a mental block. It's kind of where the story leads. So he's able to kind of break free of it and form this religious movement, I guess, towards the end. And it kind of doesn't end up going so well by the end. So that's what I gathered from the story in general.
Well, when I was listening to it on my phone in the car, and I knew I I knew it was a concept album and it told his story like that. And so I didn't, when I got home, I had listened to about 10 songs off the album. And then that's when I pulled up like the story of it online to read about it. And I was reading through the story and they would like quote like, and in this song happens this, and in this song happens this. And I'm like, what? This isn't making sense to me because I had, like, my phone had automatically shuffled it. So I listened to 10 random songs all out of order. And so, like, I was totally confused by it. So
that's not the right way to listen to it.
So I re-listened to it again from the beginning. And so now it has a little more coherent sense to it.
Yeah, you've been having kind of bad luck with listening to these albums, because with Abbey Road, our first one, you were missing tracks. I think you just had like certain ones that you had saved on your phone, but not others.
He listens to them on like the actual album on the spinny thingy
turntable
on the turntable.
Yeah,
all right,
that's part of the experience for me, at least. Is I try to purchase these albums as we go through them, because part of why I wanted to do the series is to like increase my vinyl collection and kind of get these classic albums that I think are important to have in a collection.
And it's good because I've never like listened to them, so for me to experience them with you is
that's
good.
An important element of it.
So
too.
now that you have the albums, you're able to like just sit and listen to them, whereas I'm always trying to like find them on my phone while I'm driving, and it's ridiculous sometimes.
So it's kind of a cool, like, it's my first experience listening to these albums on vinyl. I've heard most of them just through my own listening in previous places, either streaming or in CD or whatever. And this is your first listen, usually ever. So we're each coming in with a new, different angle to it, I think, which kind of provides for an interesting discussion, I hope.
Yeah. As for discussion, we decided to pick 3 songs each that we liked from this.
Yeah.
Not talk too much about them. We don't want these videos to go on too long.
Yeah.
As we tend to do sometimes.
We tend to drag on a little.
Sorry. Not sorry. So we'll 3 favorite songs and one least favorite song. Yeah. And of course, this is our classic albums 101, where the student is supposed to be following instructions. And I didn't. I have 5 songs. So I'm sorry.
Oops.
Okay. So, the ones that I liked, I liked Sparks. Mm-hmm. Sparks is a instrumental, and I think it's the part in the story where he's like discovering that he has like other senses or something like that, and he's able to like do art or things or other things, like, and so I just really liked it. I liked the sound, I liked the music of it. I thought it was really fun. Should I do a couple and then switch to you?
Okay, yeah.
And then I also liked Go to the Mirror. I liked that song just because I liked the sound of it. I liked I don't know, just it's like where they take him to the doctor or something, and they realize he can like see himself in the mirror or something, and it's I don't know. I just liked that part.
That's cool.
And then the only one that I slightly maybe recognized was Pinball Wizard, and so that's another one that I really liked. And it just sounded like one I have heard before, but I wasn't sure, so I may not have heard it before, but I'm pretty sure I have. I don't know. And then I have 2 more.
Okay, so I'll do.
You do some.
Do some. So I'll expand it too. I was gonna do 3, but I could push it to 5. I don't want to be left out.
Sorry.
So I maybe this is kind of a cheat, but I was going to pick Amazing Journey / Sparks. I feel like they're kind of two parts of one piece to me of the album. Because Sparks is the instrumental kind of ending to Amazing Journey, which is what you were talking about him kind of discovering his other senses and kind of having this special experience, even though has this disability and these problems, that he kind of finds some happiness, some measure of like ability. And so I think that's an important piece of the concept, and I really love the music. Sparks is really cool, just the musical moment in it, because it kind of gets reprised a little bit in the Underture, which is a longer instrumental part, but I think it's done really well here, kind of this little 2-minute part to it. So, and then I really like Christmas is one that really stands out to me.
I like that one too.
I like the vocals, the like, I don't even know how to describe it. That like, I heard someone say like croaking vocals or like this like, bum, 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 you know, if you remember that part. There's just a lot to the song, and I think it's fun and interesting, and I think it has the beginning of that like see me, feel me, you know, hear me kind of thing that's kind of recurring throughout the album. So I like that kind of call to that. And then also I like the Acid Queen is one that stands out to me as just a really solid like shorter rock song that I think really works well in the story. It's kind of a weird part of the story, I think, about like him having this like acid trip or something. Yeah. So that part's kind of strange, but I do like the song. I think it's a really strong like rock song by the band that you can kind of pull out of here and like just enjoy as its own rock song. So there's 3.
Okay.
So you want to do
my other two,
and then I'll pull out 2 more too.
I'm Free. That's one that I really liked. I just liked the message of it. I liked the music of it, and I just liked it. I'm not as articulate about the songs as he is. This is why he has the channel.
No.
And I'm just, you know,
I don't feel like I'm
sidekick.
Great at it either. It's okay.
And then I liked Underture.
So yeah,
which I feel like has a little asterisk because I liked most of it, and then it started to get too long for me.
Of course. Running theme.
Yeah. But I thought it was just good music, and that it surprised me that I was enjoying that so much, that and Sparks, because they are instrumentals, and normally I think I'm not so much a fan of instrumentals because it doesn't I don't know how accurate this is, but I feel like sometimes it just doesn't move the story along.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's building musical emotion behind the story that you've already heard. So I don't know. I just felt like they were both placed really well, and they were great. Like awesome. As you said, like Sparks built on the Amazing Journey right before it. Yeah, so that was good. So
perfect. Yeah. And I would definitely pick I'm Free as one of my choices. It was going to be one of my original 3. I really love it. I think it's kind of an iconic just Who song. I think it really like speaks well to what the band's all about. It sounds really cool. And it's an important moment in the story as well. I think it's kind of an important realization of the character, and it sounds really cool. And once again, it's like you could pull this out of here and it's just really cool on its own. It just sounds really nice and has some great musical things going on, some great guitar work and things like that. Has a lot of energy, and I love the drumming. Of course, drumming is always a big piece of the Who to me. They have an incredible drummer. So, and I don't know, besides that, maybe just like the overture would be a standout. I love the overture and how it starts, and it really gets you amped up for the rest of the album to come. And the underture as well. I mean, I like the kind of bookends of the overture and underture for that kind of first part of the album, that it's like it kind of frames the album in a really good way, you know. I always love instrumental stuff, and that's where some of the more interesting like instrumental stuff is in the album. And so I really appreciate that as a music fan, and seeing what they're doing to expand things, to play with different themes, and to kind of, I feel like the overture has some like horns and things, like some different elements to it that kind of are cool in the album.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yay.
Now least favorite, right?
My least favorite was the very last song on the album.
Okay.
We're not gonna take it. We're not. That's what it's called, right?
Yeah. We're not gonna take it.
I like, and when I first saw that song listed, I thought it was that. We're not gonna take it.
Yeah, quite different.
No, we're not gonna take it. Like that one, but it's not.
Yeah. It's a whole different era of music.
Whole different song. But I mean, the first part of it was okay, but I just didn't like that it like totally changed feel in the middle. It just was jarring to me.
Yeah.
So I liked the first half, but the second half I was like, eh.
Yeah, I think like.
And then it ends the album that way.
It's kind of two songs. It probably should be split into two songs, and I think in some lists it kind of is. But so I could see why you'd feel that. It's probably meant to be two songs, really, but they do kind of run in one to the next. So I could see either way. I mean, when it was originally on vinyl, there isn't really divided tracks, anyways. So it's not like they really intended. It's just kind of a piece of music as a whole, right? Yeah. So. For me, this was hard because there's a lot of these like little interlude tracks that are like a minute or less. I
feel like those were all like so fun, but I felt like I couldn't quite pick them as like a favorite song just because I'm like, is it really a song on the album as opposed to like an interlude? Okay, sorry.
Yeah, no, I see what you mean. Like I thought about picking my worst as like Tommy's Holiday Camp. It's just like silly kind of thing, but it's fun. You know, it's tough to knock any of these little things. I think it breaks up the album interestingly. I kind of picked as my worst Cousin Kevin. Maybe it's partially what it's about, and it's just kind of a
that
dark
one and
moment.
the next one. I was like thinking of that one and the Fiddle About.
Yeah.
That one, you know, like this song. I think the songs sound fine, but like the message behind them is kind of like. Ew.
Yeah, but it's an important element of the story, I think. So it's good to have those there. But yeah, Cousin Kevin just even musically didn't grab me as much as some of the rest of the stuff around. I mean, it's surrounded by some of my favorite stuff on the album, the Christmas and Acid Queen and Underture. I really love, and so it kind of feels weak in comparison. Just doesn't really grab me musically as much as a lot of the other stuff. So, and yeah, maybe the subject matter maybe doesn't help because it's kind of a dark topic of kind of this abuse and that kind of situation. So, yeah, that's probably the one I'd pick. But it was hard because it's a pretty consistent record. There's a lot of music and there's not too much I can single out as worse than this. It's just everything kind of sounds along the same lines to me. So, especially on the second half, it kind of... Maybe this is where the length kind of works to its detriment, where the second half things start blending together to me a little bit because it's been going on for a long time. I feel a lot more connected to the first half of the album. Okay. But maybe that's just my preference. And maybe it means I need to listen more to it to really uncover more about the second half of the album, which I think has a lot of good stuff, but I don't single out as many like important, great tracks besides like I'm Free. Yeah. Like I mentioned. But I think there's a lot of good stuff. Yeah. And the story kind of is going in wacky ways a little bit in the end.
Yeah.
But
so, in general?
In general.
Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Yeah.
Thumb sideways?
So, generally, of course, I'm a thumbs up. I think it's an important album in rock history. I think it really influenced a lot of music that's important to me. I know Mike Portnoy cites this as maybe his favorite album or amongst his favorite albums of all time. It really inspired a lot of modern, concept albums. Some of the ones from the 70s, as well as like some modern ones like Spock's Beard Snow is very inspired along similar lines as this story. So I have to respect it for that. It's like, I prefer the prog music because it's a bit more like adventurous and interesting to me, where a lot of this can feel a little bit uniform from one track to the next.
I don't mind that,
but it's really well done music. It's really well crafted, and I can't deny it. So
yeah,
are you thumbs up?
I agree with the thumbs up for all of those reasons. I think personally, it's more of a
more on the sideways.
Maybe it's all right. Okay, I mean,
fair.
it has some great tracks on it, but then it has some things that I'm like, okay, skip. Skip.
Yeah.
But that's me. So, you can like what you like. And you can dislike what you dislike.
Sure.
I don't have a strong dislike for this. I mostly like it. So.
And something I want to start doing is kind of ranking these albums as we continue to go through them. So rank this one versus the previous classic albums we've done. At this point, it's only this one and Abbey Road that we did before. But as we keep building and doing more in this series, I thought it'd be fun to kind of have a a running list of like how we'd rank the albums and what's our favorites that we've done over the course of the series. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I would rank this one below Abbey Road.
Okay. So yeah.
How would you rank
I
it?
agree. I would rank it below Abbey Road because I just love the Beatles and love Abbey Road so much. It's to me a total like classic and really inspirational to all the music that I love. I love that record so much. So as much as I do like this one, yeah, I do prefer Abbey Road as well. So, but yeah, feel free to kind of rank along with us in the comments.
Yeah.
And
what are your thoughts? Did you listen to this album?
Yeah, exactly.
Lately?
With
us?
Yeah.
You know, you're welcome to listen to the albums with us. We're going to do this show like every 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, every like two to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it'll give you some time.
Yeah, and at the end, we like to announce what the next pick is. So
I don't know what it is. He picks them.
Yeah,
What is it?
Here we go. I feel like we did
Surprised.
I feel like we did the Beatles, so I feel like the natural step next from the Beatles.
Beach Boys?
No.
Oh.
Rolling Stones.
Rolling Stones, there's a butt on this. And a crotch.
Yeah.
The Rolling Stones Sticky Fingers.
Yeah.
Do I know any songs on this? Is it famous?
You may, yeah. It's very famous.
Yeah. All of these should be famous.
Yeah,
they're all like classic
that's
albums.
the whole point of the show, yeah. So you may recognize a track or two, I guess. So I just thought this
like one of those pictures where you like stand in front of a picture and then you have like your body filled in. They do those with book covers all the time. Yeah. It's fun.
So yeah, I don't know Rolling Stones very well. I'll admit they're not really a band I'm very familiar with.
Do I know any of these songs? I have no idea. None of them
jump out as familiar.
None of them jump out.
I thought like Brown Sugar you might know.
Yeah, a lot of
maybe
times
even Wild Horses.
A lot of times that I won't know a song until like I hear it. Like I won't know it by the title, or I won't know it like even by the first 30 seconds, and it has to get into the chorus for me to know it. So
yeah, I don't know the Rolling Stones very well, so I had to kind of research to try to figure out what the best album to feature would be. And I know there's several choices that would have been great. Let It Bleed is one that people talk about. Exile on Main Street is an important album.
Was that really sometimes around Let It Be?
Kind of, actually, yeah.
Really?
I think it may be a couple years earlier. But
so the Beatles copied them.
We'll see. I should research before I say anything.
They're like, let's make it better and shorter.
So yeah, it'll be fun to delve into the Rolling Stones, a band I'm kind of less familiar with too. So
well, I'm excited. That'll be good.
Yeah, so that's our next choice. So
and it's only 10 songs.
Yeah, this is a much shorter album than Tommy for sure. I kind of put you through the ringer of doing a pretty long album, so sorry about that.
That's all right.
But we got some good ones coming, I hope. So
all right, I'm excited. Do we stick to our 15 minutes?
We're a little over, but maybe in editing we'll cut it down a little.
Probably not.
No, we don't edit too much, huh?
No.
All right, everybody. Thank you guys for joining us. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. We're having a lot of fun with it. I think it's fun to revisit these albums and to visit them for the first time for some of us. Yeah. And yeah, please, if you want to listen ahead of time, we'll be doing this in a couple weeks.
Here's the Crotch album.
Yeah, listen to the Crotch album.
Or the Bum.
And so thank you guys for joining us. We had a lot of fun here. And please give your thoughts about Tommy in the comments and what you think about it, So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you hopefully in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.